Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai Satchinandana Jaya Gaurari Vishnu Priya Pranadana Jaya Satchinandana Jaya Gaurari Vishnu Priya Pranadana Jaya Satchinandana Jaya Gaurari Vishnu Priya Pranadana Vihari Satchinandana Jai Gaurari Vishnu Priya Pranadana Nadiya Vihari Vishnu Priya Pranadana Nadiya Vihari Jai.
The question of discussion for today is how to appreciate the service of others. Or you may also call it the medicine against envy. We had a very funny thing in the old ISKCON days. It was a secret society. That secret society was R, U, N, V, S. You never heard of that, no? Yeah, there are many things we don't know.
Yes, many people.
So what was that society?
There are many terms.
What was that society, I will tell you. It was rip off, unlimited, RU, Naikatma, Vaisheshika, and Sura.
Oh.
They were the acronyms of RUNVS. And what did that secret society do? It was selling book points. There were devotees, you see, everything starts with Srila Prabhupada saying, let's sell as many books as we can. Then, in order to sell many books, you have to buy them from the BBT, because the BBT produces books. So, you're recording this, no? It's very funny. Not many people know that. So, if you would buy many books from the BBT, then you could report, we did the great distribution of all these books. And there was a competition, a worldwide competition, a worldwide Sankirtan newsletter. I don't know if they still have it. Most likely they do. But in those days we had this. But the problem was, it was very difficult to sell books. Very difficult. People are not so eager to buy a book. So there were some devotees, they found out ways to make much more money by not selling books, but by selling something else. Some money scheme, some collection. In the old ISKCON jargon, that was called to go on the pick, to pick some Lakshmi from the material world and put it into Krishna's world. Oh, where are they? They're out on the pick. that was the ISKCON jargon for somebody's going out doing fundraising. So some devotees were very expert. So what Prabhupada said, 50% of all the money should be given to the BBT. So what they were doing, they were giving money to the BBT and now they were getting all these books. But they had nobody to sell them. So then they were looking for people like me. I was in South America. And I took the books from them, much less price of what the BBT charges me. And I was selling the books. And they were getting the points for the competition. So I was not allowed to report my book distribution because that money already reached the BBT previously, no? There were books reported but not sold and then sold by us without getting recognition. And that was the secret society, RUMBS. That was organized from Los Angeles. That was the headquarters. And I was getting tons of books, sometimes even for free, because they had so many, they didn't know what to do with them. I had to pay at least the ship. So no, usually we paid something, and from that something we paid, they bought more books. Because all in all, this was, the motivation was how to get the books to the people. That was a little bit of a financial gain, no, for getting Srila Prabhupada's attention. Hey, we are distributing many books here. Because Prabhupada had said, I will go to that temple where they sell most of my books. Woo! Prabhus, did you hear what Prabhupada said? No, what? He said he'll come to the temple where they sell most of the books. We are not selling many books. Come on. So we would go out, sometimes at 7 o'clock in the morning, sometimes come back at 7, 8 at night.
Are you hearing, Ilmada? No.
This is very difficult to understand. This you can only understand when you're in the middle of it. This is like we were all so enthusiastic. So nobody ever told us, you have to go out and sell books. No. Never. Nobody told me that. Because I have a big ego. Somebody tells me, hey, you do this. How you dare to say like this? So we were just saying, Prabhupada wants these books to be sold. Prabhupada works day and night to produce these books to save humanity. So we were sometimes out, like I said, from 7 morning to 8 at night, working 13 hours on book distribution. Sometimes not everybody, not all the time, but on marathons, 14 hours out on Sankirtan. So much enthusiasm. Because every book we had the feeling, this is a chance that somebody becomes devotee. If you read those books, his life will definitely change. So that motivated us. That motivated us to go out and distribute the books. And of course, that's how the Krishna conscious movement came into being. By these young people full of enthusiasm going out and distributing books. Actually, after Prabhupada, nobody, which I know, was able to copy that spirit again. Yes, there's still lots of devotees printing books in many languages and distributing, but that drive of those days, that was very, very, very productive. And of course, because of that, we would print Srila Prabhupada's books in all languages. But in order to print the books, we also had to sell them. So sometimes we would go out and give somebody a book, Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 2nd volume. We would sell the person. The person says, what is this? 7th canto, 2nd volume. We look inside the story of Chitraketu. Who's Chitraketu? I mean, for the people, it was like
7th from that to there is 1 volume.
Without any introduction, practically, they would come and get a book which was highly advanced. And somebody says, this is nice. The people should get an introduction books. They have not understand. But the argument was, if we are not selling those books, then we cannot print all of them. Because to print all of them was a very large amount of money was necessary. So we had to sell some of these books to make that printing come into action. Srila Prabhupada, when he came to LA, he used to visit the book front. And in the book front you would see piles from the ceiling to the, from the floor to the ceiling, books and books and books and books. And Prabhupada was very happy. Wow, that is the Sankirtan movement. That's now in full power. And we in the different temples, we would just move and move and move. That's a little bit of the history of the Sankirtan movement. And of course there's thousands of details, thousands of stories. I will tell you one. The Bhagavad Gita had just come out. And I went in Switzerland on Sankirtan. In Switzerland, it's strictly prohibited to sell things on the street unless you have a vendor's license. It's very difficult to get. and it's only valid for a small area, but we go everywhere. So I was out distributing the Bhagavad Gita in German had just come out, Bhagavad Gita as it is. So I was in Lucerne, one city, and I walked down from the bridge into the old city, and there was one gentleman, he looked at me, and I said, oh, he's looking very interested. I gave him a book. He said, this is the Bhagavad Gita, this is the Bhagavad Gita, blah, 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 blah. He looked at me, and he said, how much you want? I said, you give a donation or something, 20 marks or so. He said, yes. I will not ask you whether you have a permission to do this here. And then I said, what are you doing? Are you casual conversations now? They said, I'm from the police inspector of the city. It is my office. And I looked up, there was a sign, city police. I said, very nice. And he gave me the $20, and he took the Bhagavad Gita and went off. So, he would have arrested me right there, no? So, but these were the sweet, sweet, special moments in Prabhupada's Sankirtan. And there's unbelievable thousands of stories like this. Tens of thousands. And when somebody becomes a devotee by reading a book, the whole Vaishnava world dances in ecstasy. What? You bought a book? Yes. You read the book? Yes. What do you think? Well, that's why I'm here now chanting and dancing with you. Jai Ho! And that's the festival of Krishna consciousness. Just like when a farmer, he plants the seeds. When they come out, he goes, oh, my seeds are grown. And when they become bigger, he goes, oh. And when they start the first fruits and vegetables coming, he goes, oh, mercy, mercy. No? So, just like this, planting the seed of bhakti, that was the main activity of those who are not envious. Because there was no other gain except the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. And maybe a little bit of our ego, that we wanted to be recognized as servants of Prabhupada. So even the ego may catch you in this way. The other day I met in Govardhan. We went there to meet Nishingananda. I entered into a room and there was a lady. And the lady said, oh, Maharaj. I said, who are you? I'm the daughter of Advaya, who was a top book distributor in Sao Paulo in this time. At that time he was not even married. Now she was a doctor doing voluntary service here. So Krishna consciousness is expanding here, there, up, down, left, right. It's expanding. So we should be very enthusiastic to make our humble contribution. We don't know if our contribution is much very valuable or not valuable, but if that is our contribution, like in the World Vaishnava Association, Vishwa Vaishnava Rajyava, we have made our contribution, and this program of conversation, Ista Gosti every night, is our contribution, one of our contributions. But because of that, nowadays many people who never thought about it before, now they are contemplating, maybe we can help each other spreading Krishna consciousness. Now, if anybody does anything for Lord Krishna, we consider that is an accomplishment of the Vishwa Vaishnava Rajyava. We take credit for anything anybody does for Lord Chaitanya. Why? Because we are not envious. Because when you're envious, you don't want to recognize what other people do. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to shine a light on it. You don't want to be even associated with this. This is, are you envious? It's a little funny, you know, but we should not be envious. Then, if you're not envious, like the other day I visited Lokanath Swami's Noida, Radha Govinda place, some time ago. And when I saw it, I was so surprised because I hadn't seen that place before. It looked a little bit like the Radha Govinda one here. It had a little bit of the style. Very fancy, very fantastic. Even have a park in the back, which the government is giving them for uses. And I say, I was with Lokanath Goswami in Greater Kailash, where we had a little house. He was temple president there. And I used to go through Delhi, and I stayed in Delhi ashram. And at night, Lokanath Maharaj and myself, we would talk a lot, very heartfelt friendship. And before that, I was in a Bengali market. Bengali market, Delhi, that is there Srila Prabhupada had a very small family house, poor people house kind of a thing, 1 story, 3 bedroom, a hall where there was Radha Parsasarthi already installed. Could you see Prabhupada, the vision he had? He installed Radha Parsasarthi in this teeny little rented house, or I don't know if it was donated or rented, I guess it was, because then Prabhupada sold that, or left that and went to Greater Kailash. In Greater Kailash, Lokanath was the president. And it was a nice big house in Greater Kailash. But today, you go to Delhi and you find 15, 16 huge, fantastic Krishna temples with opulent deity worship, with everything. You cannot believe it. You cannot believe it. So, if I compare that to the service we did in South America, we are like little mice or ants in front of the ISKCON elephant in India and Delhi. But we are very happy to see a big elephant there. Wow! Because we were there when the elephant was just as small as us, no? So, are you envious? Or are you happy? When you join the Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha, you will have to become free of envy, because then you can enjoy the success of anybody and everybody, because this is all the success of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his people. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's people, they are doing wonderful things. Yes, they also may make some mistake here and there, like something. I just was thinking the other day, let me think about how was that story. Yes, there was 2 devotees, and they were fighting about some capital, which was there from some previous collection, and finally one got most of it or something, the others didn't get so much. And then there was a big steer. So unlucky the situation. But actually, one of them has the money to use it for Krishna. Hopefully, no. But Krishna, he has so much opulence that when things are done for him in this way or that way or here or this or that, it's always glorious. Nothing is ever lost. Nothing is lost. Krishna knows what to do, how to distribute, how to organize things. Krishna knows it. And the less we worry about it, the better for us, because otherwise we will become influenced by the RUNVS. The secret society I was explaining to them. So we don't want to join that society. It's funny, it's just a joke. But if you can give up envy, then you're so rich. The other day, we were talking with one Ramanuja Jir. He came to Mayapur to join our Vishwa Vaishnava Rakshava meeting because he was a kind of a friend of Srila Bhaktivinoda Tirtha Maharaj. Also Dr. Another story, he also came from Nimbarka. So this one, so we were then talking to him, yes, Maharaj, so nice you are here. We are so happy. You also have a temple? Yes, I said, we have some temple in South India. Oh, really? We thought that's very nice. You also have, yeah, our temple already existing for 40 years in Panama. And then he said, yeah, we have many temples. The youngest of it, that was established 700 years ago. Since this is 700 years ago. And puja is still going on? Yes, it's still going on. So then we could say, oh, and we think we are big and we have done something substantial, Lord Chaitanya, Lord, the Charles Sampradayas, they have been very, very, very much hard-working for the welfare of humanity. And Vishwa Vaishnava Rakshava is simply one element to enthuse this and make sure that nobody escapes the mercy and nobody escapes the desire of spreading Krishna consciousness, one way or another. These are my few words regarding to this. What would you add to that thought, type of thinking?
Yes, when we are envious of someone, that means we are getting the karma not to the person with whom we are envious. Today I was teaching him that if I want to give this to someone and if he doesn't take, that means this thing remain it with me if he doesn't accept. So in same way, if we get angry with someone and if he doesn't accept the thing, then the anger remains with me. And enviousness, scientifically, if we go aside from the Shastra scientifically, our adrenal hormone, what is the exact word? Adrenaline. Yes.
Adrenaline.
Hormone. Yes. It secretes from our yeah, and it damages our heart also. So when we get angry, when we get envious with someone, scientifically also is not good according to modern health science. And yes, spiritually also our sadhana and whatever progress we are having, everything gets spoiled when we are envious. Everything gets spoiled. It's like burning our sadhana. If I am envious with Mother Krishna, then Mother Krishna has nothing to do with this. It's just I am burning my sadhana. That's all. And we are responsible to keep our sadhana protected. So we should not be envious even to ants also, what to speak of human beings and devotees. It says in the Shastra, it says, I was just going to Chaitanya Bhagavat, and in it, Vrindavan Das Thakur is mentioning one sloka from Srimad Bhagavatam, in which Krishna says to Uddhava that I reside in the heart of devotees. And also Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Krishna Adhisthana Sarva Jive Jari Sada, means we have to see that Krishna is in everyone's heart. So how can we be envious with someone? But at the same time, we have to see that if someone is not cooperating us, we cannot just go and embrace him like that. Of course, we have to show kindness, we have to be respectful, everything is there. Just like we cannot embrace a tiger, it's not possible, he is so envious. We cannot embrace a snake, it's envious. So like that, we have to have the intelligence to whom should we embrace, to whom should we respect, to whom should we give Krishna consciousness. Krishna used to maintain this thing, he used to respect Yudhishthira, he used to be friendly with Arjuna, he used to be like elder brother with Arjuna to Sahadev. So, these are the things we should not be envious. Envious is the most what you say, precious thing in this six ripus, six anarthas. Lust, anger, greed. What is that then?
Attachment, fear.
Lust, anger, greed, envy,
Pride.
Lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, and the sixth one?
Madness.
Huh?
Madness.
No. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Matsarya.
Intoxication.
Anyway, one of these six anarthas is envious with others. We should not be envious with and what to speak of human and devotees. Yes. Because we don't have control on our own body itself. If the digestive system fails, we don't have control over it. Respiratory system fails, we don't have control over it. This is our constitutional position. Very, very, very important. We have no qualification at all. Jai Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, okay. Oh, Maharaj. Yeah. I'd have to even agree in everything what you just spoken about. Because myself, I'm looking at something, or I'm attacking something, or I'm going to someplace, but that's not the true nature. Nothing can go from me to another. Nothing. Everything goes from me to Krishna. That's the eternal relationship. I can never break that relationship. So my relationship is from me to Krishna. So if that is at all true, then if I do feel an envy, it's going to Krishna. I'm not attacking the person. I'm not able to attack. And they've seen this, that they can just look in your eye and they can see what emotion you're suffering from. And the emotion never goes out of you. You capture the emotion and it stays in you. You're thinking that you're doing something to somebody. And it looks like you're doing something to somebody. But actually, you're just harming yourself. Because our relationship is eternal with Krishna. We try, that's why we're here, we try to break our eternal relationship, but we're sitting on the ray of the Lord. So he gives the yantra for me to travel all over all these births, birth, death, old age, and disease so many times, and I'm sitting on his watchful eye. And
I'm like a pair of glasses. He can transparently see through a pair of glasses, and I'm thinking that I am seeing through the pair of glasses. But actually, it's him. It's his potency.
Yeah.
The only thing that I have is him. So I've turned my face away, thinking that now he doesn't exist, and now this other person exists. But from a scientific point of view, it never goes out of you. It's always stuck in you. So it's useless. It's just useless. You know, it's not useless to praise somebody, because that makes Krishna happy. Even the smallest little labor that somebody does, you're going to pray. Oh, this is so wonderful. Even if it's a small thing. And when you give that type of praise, that's beneficial for you. You know? Because that is making Krishna happy. Krishna is only hiding because he doesn't want us to actually commit so many offenses directly to him. If he didn't hide, I'd be like so envious of him like anything, because he's got everything. Everything I want, he's got. So it's better he just stays behind and let me try to find something else. You know? So Krishna's tricky. He doesn't want us to hurt ourselves too much. You know? And get too angry at Krishna. So he's hiding in that way from us, and he reveals himself more and more if you do see positive. If I have eyes and I want Krishna to see positive about me, then I have to have positive thoughts about others. Or I don't get positive thoughts from Krishna. All my endeavor should be for some positive thought. Unless somebody, makes a mistake or something. You got to bring it to their attention, or something like that. Or even, you have to do a very, very difficult thing. You have to, if you want to see something, you have to organize things in a way in your brain. This is a civil matter, and this is a spiritual matter. And on the civil basis, this person is not acting right, so I can throw that person in jail on the basis of civil activity, but not on the basis of my considering his devotional service. I can never. It's like the no man's zone. You can't go into a person's spirituality. You can't do that. You can go into material activities and calculate them, because you have to sometimes. The guy gets out of hand or something like that. Okay, this is this, but you have to really be careful of mixing the civil with the spiritual. Oh, he's not a good devotee because this civil activity of his is this, that, and the other. No. You must keep the boundaries. To be able to get good real reaction, you have to keep the boundaries. This is civil and this is spiritual. And we are occupying ourselves in spiritual, but we have to protect ourselves from civil activities. You know? Okay. Anything that way? And like you said, of course, cortisol is the cause of all the cancers. You can have so many different elements in here, that they try to designate them as cancer forming this, that, and the other. But unless the cortisol is there, and the cortisol is activated by envy, anger, this guy, the amygdala. The amygdala is a very simple organ. It uses no intelligence. It uses no mind. and it just acts. But it acts with electric charge. Hormones don't act with electric charge. They're more developed in your mind, they're more developed in your intelligence and everything. But these, they bypass. So anger, envy, they bypass your mind and intelligence and seem to be hitting somebody, but it's actually hitting you. And it makes a reaction in your body that is not curable by medicine because it's electrical. It's an electrical discharge. If I hit you with a wire, an electric wire, it can damage a nerve and you can never fix it, not by any medicine. So this amygdala has the power to hit that nerve. And then you may lose your eyesight.
Yes.
Because it's sitting right at the optic nerve.
Permanent blindness.
Yeah.
Permanent.
So you just go like, you know, I don't want to activate this guy.
There's no medicine for optical nerve.
No.
No medicine.
No. And that little guy's sitting there. And he's giving so much trouble to you. Why? Because eyes have all the senses. The eyes have all the senses. They can feel, they can, how can you say that? Sure, like that they feel, they smell, they this, that, the other. Because the eye looks at an apple. It says, oh, I know what it smells like. Oh, I know what it tastes like. Oh, I even know what a crunchy apple tastes, sounds like. So everything is projected into your eye. Every one of the senses. So the amygdala, that's what it is. Eye. And ruins you so much. And gives you so many, they call them stigmas. But they're actually a charge that they can't take out. It's a stigma, it's a charge they can't take out. And that charge causes the cancer. So when you start analyzing it from a bodily point of view or a spiritual point of view, envy is just not a good thing at all. It's just like, and I'm envious of him. No, you're envious of the opulence that he is showing you of Krishna. Your envy is of the opulence of Krishna. You're not envy of him. You don't even know him. You've never seen the soul. You've never really talked to the soul or anything like that. So you're not envious of him. You're envious of Krishna. I'm ability in man. So all the abilities that you envy is actually just the opulence that Krishna gave it to him. So it just comes down to it. It's just like an unending cycle if you get into that, Easy for us to figure out that you're just envious of Krishna. That's it,
We are envious with someone means we are envious with Krishna.
Yeah. You don't even know me, You don't know my mother, my father, and this, that, and the other. How can you be envious of me? Today is the anniversary wedding of Vishnupriya Gauranga.
Today.
It's logical because the gopis, 5,000 took 5,000 some hundred years for Vishnupriya and Lakshmipriya to marry Gauranga, but they were praying to marry him, So finally they got to marry him.
Can I say something about the topic? So,
Change the camera.
is that necessary? So Krishna explains, he says to Arjuna, I am giving you this knowledge only because you have not envy for me. And that's very meaningful because he is not saying because you are pure or because you are a great warrior or even because you are my devotee. He is saying because you have not envy for me. You have any kind of envy for me. And I read one book from Srila Bhaktivedanta Tirtha Goswami Maharaj. He was explaining how Narottam Das Thakur teaches that all the feelings that we can have in this material world are also in a pure manifestation in the spiritual world, and how all of them are related with Krishna. Even the man mood, like the angry mood, also is a way of worshipping Krishna in the spiritual world. But he explains, that Narottam Das Thakur explains, the only feeling that is not in the spiritual world is the enviness. So, the envy is actually what gets us killed in this material world. The envy is actually what it is not allowing us to experience a personal relationship with Krishna and with his associates. Philosophically, everybody will get whatever they have to get. We are all getting whatever we, according to our karma, our destiny, our astrology, or whatever we want. There is no reason to wish something else than what we really want. And that's what Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada explained. He said the secret for peace is that everybody accepts that everything belongs to the Lord. So, based on that, that is actually what you were saying. If we are understanding that everything belongs to the Lord, then I have no reason to feel envy, because at the end everything is based on Him. Now, directly talking about World Vaishnava Association of the devotees in so much about money, but also that's sometimes taking part. But the money, it is something very like externals, very bored. But the followers is something more subtle about the prestige, because Bhaktivedanta Thakur has written that the person who has a lot of followers means that it is very advanced. Maybe he is an Uttama Adhikari, right? So by that thought, always to being able to have more shisha, it means like, oh, he's very powerful. And sometimes it's something that I, Maharaj, who was Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's disciple, we are feeling happy that someone else is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that if someone is stopping to eat meat, stopping to use drugs, to give up this bad behavior, and is at least praying to the Lord even once, even if he's not able to chant 64 rounds, or it is not able to do puja every day, or any other wishable sadhana, but maybe not possible for everybody. But if we are feeling happy just because they are in touch with the holy name, and we understand, okay, it will take time, but it will happen itself because the holy name is there. So at the end, it doesn't matter who has given initiation or who has not. So we know many acharyas who have never even seen their guru in person, like Srila Bhakti Maharaj. He never met his guru face to face, but he was so fully dedicated to his seva and heartfully giving all whatever spiritual process, no? So glorifying others and saying, oh, maybe I cannot do that, but he's doing pretty well, so very nice, good for you, huh? Or
competition. Don't look at it as envy. Oh, what is he doing? What is he doing that I'm not doing? I'm going to do it better. It's competition. Okay, he's getting this result, and I want to get better result, so I'm going to do better than him. That's competition.
Or even, I can see, oh, this devotee is doing this service, he's getting recognition, but he's making mistake. Then how can I help him to continue doing the service, but without mistake? Or to do it better, no? So, if we are thinking in such a way, everything go easier. And I think for that we should avoid to try to see the Vaishnavas, the devotees, in levels. We have to respect levels according ashram and varna, for sure, about who is elder devotee, who has taken shisha from or get out of emptiness in the World Vaishnava Association, Viva Vaishnava Rakshava. We have to increase this idea of glorifying others. It is very nice when I am not only glorifying my mission, but the exercise to glorify others' mission, what God brothers are doing, what other devotees are doing, then that will give so much power to the movement, and will make very strong the World Vaishnava Association and the links among the different missions, because as soon as you will glorify my mission, now I feel so happy with you, then I want to help you and I want to glorify you, and you are also feeling inspired by what I am doing, then you will also help me, and in such a way the spirit of helping each other will naturally come, and that's actually what we want to create and build up in the World Vaishnava Association. But sadly, sometimes the problem we see is that the meetings are coming to solve problems, but not to glorify, and that's a problem. We are telling each other, oh, have you seen what that sannyasi have done? Oh, have you seen what happened in that place, so much trouble like that? Oh, did you see that fake news is going on? Yeah, those problems should be solved, but why we are not meeting to say, hey, you are doing great. Hey, we should all celebrate the appearance of this new temple this another mission is creating now. Right? In such a way, let's say the sense of positivity and happiness of Lord Chaitanya will reach all of us, and we read Chaitanya Charitamrita and we see that everything is positive, everything is happy, everything is favorable. But we know that at Lord Chaitanya's times not everything was that easy. His context for preaching was very tough. The context of preaching of the six Goswamis was very tough. But when we read, we are only looking at beautiful, sweet things going on, right? So we should learn that from our previous acharyas and try to focus on the good things. This is my humble.
Have you go sadhu sadhu?
I would like to say this one line.
Yes. Welcome. Natikeya.
This lecture was very interesting. By all of you three, I got so much, even from you. So, as a conclusion line, I would like to say, appreciate everything, and expect nothing. This is the Guru Mantra. Not from my side, but from all of you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
That's the Bhagavad Gita says. You should be what's the shloka? You have the right to fulfill your duty, but you have no right of any expectation of return. What is the Sanskrit?
Aharanidra.
No, let me.
Dharmo.
Anasaktaha karma phalam karyam karma karoti ya sa sannyasi cha yogi chana niranagirna chakriya.
That's another one.
This also means the same.
The one.
But there's this classical, the famous verse. I just forgot the Sanskrit.
Karmani
That's funny.
Apareshu.
I didn't understand.
Karmana karmani.
That's right. So we comes to the same what you said, no? Expect nothing but appreciate
everything.
And do your duty.
Yes.
What do you say, young man?
At least say something. Say 10 times, I will distribute books, I will distribute books.
I was a Sankirtan devotee.